kirtan leader and said, lead kirtan, begin kirtan. So they did. The whole, Bengal, and back then it was different than it is now, much different, before the internet, before cell phones. Back at that time, the Bengali people were so enthusiastic and so irrepressible. Maybe they still are, but I didn't notice it the last time I was there. They heard Prabhupada begin the kirtan. They all leaped up into the air and began dancing in ecstasy with it in or surrounding the Naxalites. And you know what the Naxalites did?
Yeah, at that time it was a communist driven state.
You know the story. You know the story?
Yeah, I have heard this past time, but you said very beautifully. So the picture was playing in my mind. So thank you for that.
So they were dancing in ecstasy, and you know who gradually joined in with the community, 1,000 people in the pandal, plus the devotees dancing, plus Prabhupada dancing. The Naxalites began to dance. And the head of the Naxalite group, or one of the heads of the Naxalite group, actually moved into the temple. He joined Iskcon. Wow. It was a wonderful experience. He was the most amazing fellow, quite old and frail with arthritis. But when people came, he would run, grab their bags, and run up the stairs on the temple across from the ghat, not ghat, the tank. He would run up on Shakespeare Sarani. When I was there, it wasn't called Shakespeare Sarani, it was called Lenin Sarani. But yeah, it was all very wonderful and exciting. But I'm telling you things you already heard before. The benefit is that the people that are on this Zoom call that haven't heard it before, it's a very exciting story that everybody ran. They just began dancing. I wasn't there. I didn't come for another year, I think. But with all the people dancing there and the Sankirtan and the Bengali population just dancing in ecstasy, it was just too absolutely wonderful.
Right. So,
did you ever hear that story before? Ramachandra?
Yes, I've heard it, but you have said it one more time, so that's very nice. Yes, not
You've
like that though.
Most people have heard it, but the thing is that when I heard it from the temple devotees who were there. So it was electrical.
So, Kushbu Basan Mataji, you born in the Vaishnava family, or you came up in the tradition, or did you take shelter of Srila Prabhupada?
I took shelter of Srila Prabhupada. I mean, I'm not from a Vaishnava family. Actually, my family is, in fact, against. My father is completely against. So, I have come from a broken family, kind of. So, so that's another thing. But my mother is very cooperative. Like, she doesn't say anything. And it was in 2019 that I started hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures on Vanipedia. Actually, that was, I mean, now I'm 30. So when I was in college, at that time, I got a book, Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers, by Prabhupada near Howrah Station. So I took that book and then I started reading it. But then as college day, how we are in college, so I kept that book. I didn't go through it. And then after many years, when I was 24, 25, like that, so many problems, family problems, financial problems, many problems were there. So again, I took that book and then I started reading it. And then I decided that I want more books by Srila Prabhupada. But and I downloaded the PDFs in my small multimedia phone. But that phone it stopped working. So maybe that was Krishna's arrangement. Maybe I was not ready, or I don't know. That, or maybe it was to increase my that what we call, I don't have this, to increase my longing for getting that. So I was then
Yep.
I felt very sad that why did this happen? But then I was going on with my life, and then in 2019, all of a sudden, on March, I think March, April, I started hearing Prabhupada's lectures back to back on Vanipedia.com in
Hmm.
YouTube. And then one day at night, I couldn't sleep because I saw Prabhupada leaving us. That video where Prabhupada's Samadhi,
Hmm.
the disciples are taking him. So that really moved me. And the whole night I couldn't sleep. And then in the morning, I started. That was in the morning. What I did, I scanned a picture from I had Bhagavad Gita because we have Bhagavad Gita in our house, and I already had the Iskcon Bhagavad Gita. I don't know, maybe my father or somebody had. I had it in my house, so I scanned the pictures from there. One of Srila Prabhupada, one of Panchatattva, and then one of one. I don't think so. I purchased, and then I gave it for framing in a nearby shop, and then they to give me a date to take the photos. So that was Pap Mochini Ekadashi. That the Ekadashi. That was my first Ekadashi which I kept. And then I went to take the photos and I set up the altar, and then I started singing Gurva Ashtakam, getting up 3:30 a.m. in the morning. So this
God.
was all of a sudden, and then at this time I didn't go to Iskcon. All this I was doing online, searching through various pages and YouTube, and then I was just following. So March it went by, April went by, I was following. I still remember I used to keep the Guruvashtakam. I wrote in a paper and I used to keep it in my pocket to memorize it because the Gurva Ashtakam was it really attracted me. And whenever I sang Gurva Ashtakam, I could see Prabhupada. I don't know, his picture was very vividly, especially that the first few lectures which I heard. So Prabhupada, I felt his presence. So he is the only one who saved me because since my personal life is like I am always rejected by everybody. So Prabhupada is the one, like in my family also, in my school or anything you can say. I mean, in relationships, everybody like kind of rejected me. So Prabhupada is the only one and he's the first person who accepted me in my life. So I feel he is causeless mercy. I sometimes I think also that why did he shower his mercy on me? But then I saw that it's because his mercy has no cause, and we can never pay the debt of a guru. So he is the Jagat Guru. So that is the story. And then after a few years, I mean, this went by. Then in May, I went to my Iskcon. It was on Narsingha Chaturdashi. I
Hmm.
went to Iskcon on that day, and then when I entered the gates, then there was no looking back. From that day, and then I got Devotee Association, and then I went for book distribution. This book distribution marathon is still on in this December. So this has got. I mean, this is very close to me because I got up and I said that I will distribute books. So this is another very this is because Prabhupada said that he never dies. Prabhupada said I will always live in my books. So I just thought that maybe this will please him. So I took up this book distribution seva and I started distributing books. I still remember my first Bhagavad Gita which I gave, and it was also a very, I mean, mysterious story because the girl to whom I gave the Bhagavad Gita, she didn't have the change. I mean, I had 500 rupees, so she said I have 500 rupees. I didn't have the change, so somehow or other I couldn't give her. But then again, after a few minutes, I saw her coming back again, and she had forgotten her cardigan. So, so again, and at that time I had the change because I then we united, or the group was there, so the others also came up, so we could give her the change, and then she could take the Bhagavad Gita. So this is how Prabhupada works. I mean, through us, Prabhupada distributes the mercy. He is there, like even today. I mean, I joined this Zoom discussion also because I saw that I really liked this one thing about this, that iṣṭa-goṣṭhī. I mean, discussions like there are two kinds of devotees. One is Bhajananandi and one is iṣṭa-goṣṭhī. So, like Prahlad Maharaj was an iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, and Prabhupada is he stressed on preaching, he stressed on discussing, he stressed on iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, coming together of the devotees. And I am I have my shelter next month from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. So even Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, even he says a lot about iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, about Namahatta, about establishing preaching groups. And that is the essence. Like Prabhupada always said, books are the basis, preaching is the essence, and purity is the force. So we must abide by these. If you just follow Prabhupada's books, it's the law books for the next 10,000 years. So we are actually law practitioners. We are having a great responsibility on our shoulders to rescue ourselves first, and then to rescue the whole world, and then contribute in a small way and please him, please Srila Prabhupada, and Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado. If you please the spiritual master, then Krishna is automatically pleased. So the Gurva Ashtakam is everything is there. And then after that, when I had read Shikshashtakam, that the only 8 verses which have been given to us by Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu did not write any literature. He has only written the 8 verses, and that 8 verses, it should be like everything for us, and especially Amanina Manadena. I mean, that is so special. If we just follow that then we can always chant Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. That nobody is like higher or lower than us. Everybody, like, they are on the line. Somebody is ahead, not ahead. Everybody is on the line, but it just depends on time. I mean, time is the only one that is, I mean, separate. Like, one devotee is there. We should never ever think that this devotee is ahead or this devotee is behind. Nobody is. It's not like that. The main thing is I am over here. Like, there are many things. Like, the first main thing is that it's only because of time that this devotee has. It'll take time, and it all depends on the way we call, or the way we actually, the main thing is the way we chant. If we chant, like, I just saw this example, like when a child calling to his or her mother, and then if he just says mommy mommy, then the mother will like, okay, he's just calling. But if he just desperately cries and say mommy, then the mother leaves everything and come to the child to rescue him, to save him. So then it all depends on our chanting. Because I am actually serving at GBC SPT in the research team, and I have a lot of services. Like in Iskcon News, I am the contributing writer, and then and then there is this BBT campaign also going on. I'm the social media marketer over there. So that is the thing. The main thing which I always see is I research through a lot of Prabhupada's. I mean, I don't know, but I worship Srila Prabhupada more than Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada's lectures, everything, I read that more. That gives that keeps me going. Like, what is the one thing that keeps me going? It keeps me going that anything can happen, but I will never ever leave Iskcon only and only because of Srila Prabhupada. I don't know. Many devotees I've seen, they experience such nice bhav they have for. But I'm more, and I mean, not what to say, more attached to Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes I feel that, oh, maybe I've met Prabhupada maybe in some other birth, or maybe I don't know, but I have got a very special kind of attachment for him. And it's all because of him that I am right now speaking to the devotees, which is the greatest fortune anyone can have in their life. The association of devotees, it's very, very rare. Even devotees are so rare. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I mean, I got this opportunity to associate with all of you. It's so purifying. I mean, now I can say that, yes, my life is successful because I got everything which I wanted. and it's only because of Srila Prabhupada. Because if Srila Prabhupada, like Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he has written, "Jodi Prabhupada na hoite to na hoito tobe ki hoito." I mean, Prabhupada. If Prabhupada was, I mean, if he would have not been there, then we would have not been over here. So I can go on and on speaking about Srila Prabhupada, but it's just that I want to say a big thank you for allowing me to speak, to come, and I mean, get the association of such wonderful devotees. I mean, thank you so much. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Jai,
Krishna.
Haribo.
Kushbo.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Hare
You made, it seems like, you made very rapid progress in your Krishna consciousness. You came in, in the 20s? You were 25 or something? You said you.
I
got
was
a book.
28. Now I'm 30. So I was, at that time I was 28.
Wow. So, wow, you made very rapid progress in Krishna consciousness from that age. So you must have done something very wonderful in your past life to make such rapid advancement, from 28, then 30, then you're serving at Iskcon and doing, book distribution. That's
Yeah, and yesterday only I gave a class. Like the devotees approached me for giving classes. So yesterday, monthly classes I'm giving. So yes, it's Iskcon Girls Forum, Bikaner, Rajasthan. So actually, they told me to attend the class. So I said that I don't have time. I'm so sorry. Then they approached me that why don't you take a class? So that's another mercy. And then yesterday's topic was like focus, what was it, power of focus and concentration. So I told them that okay, I can make I did a 1 hour session, like with the slides and with presentations, and they were happy. I said this is my seva. So serving the devotees, if you all are happy, then everything will be, I mean, my sadhana is going on well. I mean, we can test this. If the devotees are really pleased, then your chanting is like, it all depends on the chanting. I mean, I saw this. So that's another thing. So it's all the mercy is coming in from various areas, and it's coming in thousand folds. So I'm very, very, I don't know. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but as in nectar of instruction, I'm doing Bhakti Shastri also. So nectar of instruction, I've heard that utsaha nishayat dhairyat. So we have to be patient also. Which dharya means patience. So sometimes it's quite overwhelming. Like you would be very happy to know that I'm connected with BRC. BRC is the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. It's in Kolkata, with its branches in Mumbai also. So I will be doing PhD in a coming months. I will be doing a PhD on maybe Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's works, and please pray for me that I can do that, because that's another thing which I want to do. I have done my MA. I have done my MA in history, and now I will be going for this PhD. That's going to, I mean, I have this unquenching, I mean, thirst, which never, I mean, that's true. Prabhupada said that our Krishna consciousness, it's, and I mean, he mentioned that I am setting the minimum number of rounds as 16. It's actually, these are the minimum standards. Maximum, there is no limit. He has said there is no limit. You can do maximum whatever. I have just said the minimum. So sometimes it's quite, I mean, we are not able to take it, but then we have to chant properly. Then I saw that while chanting, we get that strength to take in also. We should have the stamina to take in the mercy also. So I saw that if we chant very nicely, then we are able to. I mean, we become like it's called patra. Patra means we become the suitable containers for taking that power of mercy. So this is some realizations. I mean, a lot of realizations every moment. As I'm so I'm just happy to. I mean, it's all because, I mean, I'm speaking so much because again, this is a a consequence of my, coming in whenever I come in contact with new devotees, I get super excited, because then I get more mercy, and then I get more opportunities to serve. And then when the opportunities to serve increase, then automatically everything is, like my favorite book is The Nectar of Devotion. I love Nectar of Devotion. So whenever we see, there are so many rules which are given by Rupa Goswami. If we just every time I read Nectar of Devotion, there are so many things which there are so many things which we have to read, and then this life is going to be like already 28 years of my life got wasted. So sometimes I feel like I should make it up. I should make it up. So that is another thing which I have realized. It's just 2 years, but I feel like I don't know. I myself feel that I'm here since years, but it's actually just not just 2 years have gone. So that's my short story which I could share. And thank you so much for giving such a patient hearing. So Hare
Jai,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
we're very happy to hear you.
Jai
Fantastic.
Prabhupada. Bolo, Jai.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so Narnarayan Prabhu, like you heard the experience of Mataji, like how she connected to Prabhupada by reading the books and all. So I want to ask that there are many such devotees like among us who have connected through Prabhupada like in this way through lectures and books. So like whenever we do the Guru Puja, we sing that Janme Janme Prabhu Sahi, that I want you as my spiritual master after in every birth. So is it something that in our last birth we were also disciples of Prabhupada?
It's hard to say. You know, actually, if you listen to Mataji speaking, you can tell that she was a devotee in her previous life. Where was she a devotee? We don't know. She might have been a disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. She may have been born into Iskcon, and then, you know, she may have been a devotee in Iskcon and passed away and took her present birth. It's very hard to say. And it doesn't really matter, because what matters is what we're doing now. You know, even if you and I and all of us take another 30 or 40 births in Iskcon, in the League of 10K, we could take 20, 30 births to perfect ourselves. That will be time well spent, because it means we can immediately deliver all other souls, now that we know that the holy name is a Shaktivish avatar, and that we can simply deliver anyone or any creature by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So this is way, you know, in a sense, these all things can be true. They're hard to calculate. If you do past life regressions, you can figure them out. But in this case, the whole point is celebration. Just like Rupa Goswami wrote the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and the Upadeshamrita. She is Rupa Manjari from the spiritual sky. She one of the record keeper in the spiritual sky. So this most exalted gopi comes down and becomes Rupa Goswami. How can we tell? I mean, there's no way. If we go to Rupa Goswami back then, say, well, dear Rupa Goswami Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Were you a devotee in your last life? And he would say, you can't see who I am, I guess, because I was Rupa Manjari in my last life, in the spiritual sky. So this is what we need to do, is break down the barrier between Krishna Loka and the territory of Lord Chaitanya as the Yuga Avatar. As Yuga Avatar, he's not here to be worshipped per se, he's here to give us the holy name. We worship Lord Chaitanya, yes, he's a deity, yes, but that's not why he came. Prabhupada made that distinction. So when Krishna came in the Dwapara Yuga, you know, all those wonderful pastimes that you see in Krishna book and in the Chaitanya, in in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when he came, he didn't let anyone know who he was. He simply said, if you want to know, he only responded to people that surrendered to him formally as like devotees. But Lord Chaitanya made no such requirement. He doesn't care, devotee, not devotee. If a person is a drunkard, he's going to give as much mercy as he will to a Brahmin, because he is coming to deliver everybody as the Yuga avatar. And by so doing, he's eliminated all the religions on earth. You know, he's eliminated Christianity, Judaism, Islam. He's eliminated what they call Hinduism, because this Hinduism is simply watered down Bhagavad Dharma that was butchered up by the Muslims, the Mughals. So it's time to give it all up and just chant. Otherwise, there's no other way. Lord Chaitanya said, Harinam, 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 Evakevam, Kalubana, Stevan, 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 Katira. They chant Hare Krishna. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. We take it in the class in the Iskcon temple as being that's what we learn to say. But when you take it out into the street and look at all the people that are not chanting, that are not devotees, that have not surrendered to Krishna, who don't know that Lord Chaitanya is the Yuga avatar, that Lord Chaitanya replaces the God in everybody's religion. You know, if you're Muslim, you have Allah. If you have Jewish, you have Yahshua, or you have Yehud. If you are a Christian, you think of Jesus, and all these different things are there. They're all gone now. But you know, just like when something's gone, it takes a while to grasp the fact that it's gone. That's all gone. No more religion, no more Hindu, no more Muslim, no more nothing. They're finished. Why? Because everybody is worshiping the same God. Everybody wants to worship God. The Muslim will kill you if you don't worship Allah, and somebody else will kill you if you do worship Allah. So that's just the way people are. Christians killed millions and millions for not accepting Jesus, the Prince of Peace. Imagine, Prince of Peace killed millions. That's the formula. Steal and rob people. So now what we're dealing with is the Yuga avatar has come, and all the people from their different warlike, miserable, antagonistic, sequestered little lives, all those people can now come out and chant Hare Krishna, because the same God that they're worshiping as Allah or Jehovah is now come out as as the Yuga avatar in the form of the holy name.
Right. Okay.
If you hear the holy name once, you're going to go back to Godhead. So our goal in the League of 10,000 years, for League for the 10,000 years of the Golden Age of Kali, League for 10K, our goal is that every jiva will hear. And that will be coming up. We're not doing it right now, but it will come up. Even if it comes up in 200 years, it will come up. Because that's what Lord Chaitanya wants. We're just creating the preparation for that. Anyhow, that's enough first.
Okay, I'd like to share some comments by some devotees. When Mataji from Calcutta shared her experience, a lot of devotees were moved by it, and they said, wonderful, Mataji, peace and blessings to you also. And then our devotee friend Deborah Devadharna said, Hare Krishna Prabhu, such a nice devotee, my obeisances Prabhu. Then Moses Prabhu says, there's no words to describe what Srila Prabhupada has done for me, and this world, simply amazing it is. Then Moses Prabhu saying, wonderful Mataji, I'm truly humbled by your service and strength of devotion, Mataji. You have set the bar of how women should conduct themselves in this age of Kali. Then he said, Mohit, Biryani, do not fall asleep. Okay.
No, they can fall asleep.
And then
Right.
Moses Prabhu says,
Not woken
"Oh,
up, you can see.
then Devadharna is watching from New York. I think Moses Singleton Prabhu is also in New York. He said, unfortunately, I'm at work and would not be able to attend this most sublime video conference, but maybe we can arrange this at a more suitable time for I would love to participate. Devadharna Prabhu says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm trying to stay awake because of the late hour. She's in New York, so there's 3 hours ahead. I will mostly listen.
John, well, we can actually arrange, if you get a group of several people from East Coast, New York, or anywhere in that time zone, we can have another session at another time.
Yes.
You know, whatever suits, because our time in California is pretty flexible. This is evening. We could give a class at 8 in the morning, you know, or we could give one at noon, depending on what everyone's doing.
Okay.
But we'd be welcoming it. And I'm so glad that our friend from Calcutta, the wonderful Mataji, has spoken. You can see, Prabhu, the word touched, moved, and inspired is the phrase that comes to me. If you can touch people, move them, and inspire them with your sincerity, then everyone in the world will begin to believe and understand the simple fact that they are jivas, pure spirit souls.
Hare Krishna. Jai. All right. Amazing. All right. So let's see. Rupa Manjari Prabhu, you've been quiet. Do you want to say anything? Can you unmute yourself and say if you'd like to speak? And welcoming our devotee guest. And
it was just really nice to listen to the Mataji speaking. She was very inspiring.
Jai.
Yes.
Haribol. Okay.
So, and the thing is, she's speaking, then we're speaking, he's speaking, you're speaking. But what we can do, if we hold a conversation, she can speak into the conversation and we can speak into what she's saying. So it becomes a two-way thing too. But anyhow, this is our first time. So introducing herself as she did was sublime. There's absolutely no way to say it wasn't sublime. It's excellent. And the one thing I would like to say, I hope no one will think I'm trying to be puffed up, but I was there sitting in the room in Mayapur when Bob Cohen was speaking with Srila Prabhupada, and that's when perfect questions, perfect answers were there. So I was sitting in the middle of perfect questions, perfect answers. Then Shamasundar suggested that we make a book out of it called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. And then after that, in Los Angeles and San Francisco, I set up the 10th question and answer booth called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers also. Because I was so deeply impressed by those conversations with Srila Prabhupada. With a young guy that just wandered in from the Peace Corps.
Kushbu Basan, how do you see Srila Prabhupada's philosophy compared to this other Bengali philosophers like Vivekananda, Ramakrishna? Can you give an insight? Because I'd like to hear that part, because obviously you're very, very intelligent and you took to Vaishnavism, but you're coming from that background, Bengali background. So can you elaborate a little bit?
Yes, like Vivekananda, like when I was in my school days, I was inspired by Vivekananda also, because being a student of history, I always went through these historical personalities. He said, "Arise, awake," at particular quotation. But then afterwards, I saw, when I researched Prabhupada's articles on what he said about Vivekananda, he said that he is speaking like, okay, arise, awake. He's going out to the West, and but he is only doing it like for his country, for his, like, it was not on a wider scale. And even Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, and I don't understand his philosophy. I'm not into much of it, but Prabhupada had said that it is not There is no, I mean, whatever he saw, it was his, maybe there is no proof like shastric evidence. So since Prabhupada, every line, Prabhupada's every word is, it's bound by the Shastras. Because the Shastras the Shastra is our mother, and Krishna is the father. And only the mother can tell us who is the father. So when we take shelter of the Shastras, then we actually get to know about Krishna. It is not at all whimsically, or it is not at all out of our own mental concoctions. So Prabhupada was very adamant about that. And that really moved me and away from these personalities, because their idea was mainly an outcome of their own perspective, which is which can be which can be a mental concoction. What can be, it is mental concoction, because we are human beings and we have got these four kinds of defects. So we should never ever go by our own intelligence. Okay, maybe I can be, but Krishna consciousness is all about mercy, and that mercy is, and Prabhupada always said that if you are really sincere to your spiritual master, then all the purports of the Shastras are revealed to you. He mentions the word revealed, which really attracted me, because reveal, I mean, it's like I really love that shloka from Bhagavatam also, where it is said that when we eat, then we don't need a certificate from someone else who can tell us that, okay, yeah, now your stomach is full. We get to know it by ourselves. That is what Prabhupada intends to say by reveal, the word reveal. So these Swami Vivekananda, they were like more for their country, or more like this ism thing comes over here. Like Prabhupada always says, this ism, that ism, nationalism, what the philanthropism, all these isms come over here. But Prabhupada's philosophy, Vaishnavas are free from all kinds of isms. And that's something actually I saw, because I was searching for something which is free from everything. So this is the only thing which is free from everything. It's actually called the actual freedom. And there are, I mean, it's still again this one more pastime where Subhash Chandra Bose told to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that
Jai Subhash Chandra
that
Bose.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Subhash Chandra Bose,
My
yes, he
hero.
was like, yes, Prabhu.
I'm sorry. He's my hero. Keep going. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, okay. Okay. He was a contemporary of Srila Prabhupada. They were in the same college, Scottish Church College. I couldn't do my studies from Scottish, but my friends have done from there. So Subhash Chandra Bose was somebody who was like since Srila Prabhupada was also very much inspired. Like they were contemporaries. They were in the same college, same 1 year senior, I think he was. But he was making these people ready, and then he told to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that you give me these boys, and I will make them the army. I mean, I will train them for the national movement. But then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that. You what did he say, that you give me and like he said, he was more into that you should not think about nationalism like more. It is Krishna consciousness cannot wait. He said these things like you have to be ready today, now, don't wait for anything. So he told him that you give he was telling him, you give me your boys, I will make them. It was like a conversation between them. So that really moved me, because I was also more into nationalism. I was inspired by national leaders, especially Gandhi, and then I got out from it. And so actually now also we are in the army of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are actually soldiers of Srila Prabhupada. So that has the cause from only from one country. Now we have to fight for the whole, I mean, whole humanity, to that, to rescue them. So that is that chivalrous, I mean, that chivalry is That spirit of chivalry is still alive. And Prabhupada, who is the Senapati Bhakta, the commander, he is our leader, and we just have to follow him and just keep fighting with the, I mean, with the true fighting spirit. And we are constantly at war with Maya. Prabhupada said these words. We are constantly at war with Maya. So we have to just go on and on. So that desire of the having that military kind of a mindset, it actually got completely satisfied, because I saw that this movement is actually a military movement, and we are in the army, each one of us soldiers equipped with the holy name and blessings of Srila Prabhupada. So that's what I want to say.
Wow!
Haribol.
Jai Prabhu, I offer my humble obeisance to you. This
Jai.
is so inspiring. You're like Netaji yourself. You're a great leader. Please work with us.
It's all because of Prabhupada. Maybe he's speaking. I just recently too, I mean, yesterday only I had this realization that we don't do anything. Actually, Krishna does everything through us. And when we when we get that particular thing that in clear in our mind, because I was struggling through this. I was struggling. वहाँ रख दो. I was struggling. I was struggling through this. I mean, since a few I mean, not a few months. Like, how to deal with, like, when devotees say, or when anybody says that you are. So I just made this fun thing that whenever somebody says anything, like, I will just go constantly. I mean, not constantly, spontaneously. I will say that all glories to Srila Prabhupada, because then we just. It's very important to always remember him. Then this thing
Yeah.
will never come in between us, like, okay, I'm not doing anything. It's he who is doing through me, and maybe he can inspire. I mean, maybe I don't know, all of us assembled over here, maybe Prabhupada is looking at he's individually looking, he is individually looking at all of us. And maybe over here also there may be some devotee whom Prabhupada wants to help. There may be some devotee whom Prabhupada wants to help, and maybe he's speaking through me. So I am just a medium. And the more my sadhana is, the stronger my sadhana is, the purer my chanting is, the more he will use me. And that's what I want. So if he uses me more often as an instrument, then his mission will spread, and then obviously that's what we are intended to do. So actually, I
Yeah.
got just yesterday I got this realization that we actually not doing that. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says "Kartarami iti manyate," that this particular mentality that I am the doer, it is the cause of all troubles. Actually, I am not doing anything. It's all Krishna doing through his representative, who is the spiritual master. And anything which is happening also, like sometimes we get, I mean, expectations are there. I want to do this, but even even we may have spiritual desires, but even those spiritual desires should not be bound by our expectations. That is not complete surrender then. If our spiritual desires are contaminated by our expectations, then actually it is not a spiritual desire, it is a material desire, which we are kind of camouflaging in a spiritual desire kind of a word, which is actually kind of hypocrisy, which Mahaprabhu doesn't like. Mahaprabhu doesn't like hypocrisy. So we have to be genuine, we have to be honest, we have to just admit that, okay, Krishna, I want this, but as you, I mean, we always speak in all our prayers that if you want, like I devised this word, like I've written it in my board, I will by Krishna's will. That is what we should always remember. I will, but it would be by his will. If he doesn't want me, then it's like, I don't know. And if he doesn't want me to speak, then I won't be able to speak. Something will happen, like something will happen. It can be that my voice will, I will have a, like sometimes it has happened, like I will suddenly fall sick, or I will have tonsillitis, something will happen. I won't be able to speak if he doesn't want me to speak. Right now, if I'm speaking, it's because Srila Prabhupada wants me to speak. And it can be because he wants to convey the message to any of our listeners or any of us assembled over here, or maybe he can just um, I don't know, because we can always maybe we can just do this work, maybe, but we never know. So ultimately I just realized this, that actually we are not the doers. This is so wonderful. The more I interact with devotees, the more spontaneously these kind of realizations come up. And sometimes I said this is overwhelming, but again I need the blessings of all the devotees so that I am able to stay grounded and continue serving, because it's very dangerous if we get into uh, that trap of I mean, there's a book by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, What Kind of Devotee Are You? It's Vaishnava K. It's actually a Bengali, but it's translated now in English. That book is actually very helpful for all of us. So I just said, I mean, you should ask me about Swami Vivekananda, and I went so sorry for that. Okay, Haribol.
No, you did the right thing. What you're saying is
Yeah,
wonderful. And I would like to
yeah,
say, I can speak only for myself, but I'd like to think I can speak for Ramachandra also, and Rupa Manjari, and anybody else in Mohit, that we welcome you to be part of, to develop into part of the leadership of this movement of the League for 10K, because what we're doing is exactly what you seem to want. That's what we want. It's what you want. And you're speaking so powerfully and clearly. We can understand that you are a great asset to Srila Prabhupada, and that he knows that. And perhaps that's why he brought you to us, because we can collaborate to make make the change, in the world, be the change that you want to see in the world. So that's, we can welcome you and we'll work with you. You can work with us. And the cyber approach, the Zoom call, is amazing, because we're talking over so many continents, so many thousands of miles. And we're just like collaborating as though it was in the same room. So we thank you, and we'd like you to consider working with us closely online to transform the Iskcon movement back into what it was intended to be by Srila Prabhupada.
yes,
Anyone can see that there are gaps in it right now. And so we want to fix it, close it up, and take out all the ego factors, just service, just emotional service. No, I'm in charge, I'm this, I'm that, nothing of that. We would welcome you, because your attitude is identical to our excuse me, your
So I'd like to read some comments now here online. Some devotees are commenting here. 1 second here. Let me just here. Mataji Kushbu is an inspiration. Hare Krishna Rupa Manjari. That's a good question. I remember reading somewhere that Srila Prabhupada was not very fond of Ramakrishna. Can someone verify this? This is correct, Mataji. And Moses Prabhu saying, I've read the autobiography of the Ramakrishna, and honestly, it didn't appeal to me. His devotion to Goddess Kali was very intense, but not my mood. And Moses Prabhu says, correct, Kushbu. This Devadharna Prabhu is making a comment. This devotee has such a sublime intelligence. I truly enjoy hearing her speak. His divine grace, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, is amazingly merciful, ki jai. Moses Prabhu saying, absolutely. To be an instrument of the Lord is the culmination of human existence. Yes, Kushbu, continue to speak. Your words are nectar and very pleasing to me. Wonderful words by Mataji. Yes, Narayana, I agree. Hare Krishna. So these are just some of the comments coming from our YouTube discussion devotees who are watching online. So thank you to the devotees, and anyone who's watching online, they can join our WhatsApp group. It's right here. You can just click on it, have WhatsApp installed, and you can come to the group. So let's continue our conversation here, Prabhu. Excellent. Narayan Prabhu, I muted you for a few seconds. Now you can come back on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes, go ahead.
I had a little asthmatic attack. Yeah. So just for information, not for right now, but if anyone wants to know about what Prabhupada thought of Ramakrishna, I heard a great deal from him about that. I also studied Ramakrishna's writing before I became a devotee of Prabhupada, as many people have. And I could also mention that Thakur Bhakti Vinod, with his book on the book on the bowels of India, apparently when Lord Chaitanya was in Puri during his last pastimes, he was been so much in ecstasy that he appeared to be like a madman. People picked up on the madness and then made it into a cult of their own. And these were descendants, I believe, of Nityananda. They made it into a cult of their own, and it became very troublesome. And then, of course, Ramakrishna was worshiping Kali, and Prabhupada said, actually his exact words were, because of Ramakrishna, Bengal has gone to hell. And I was in the Ramakrishna temple in Calcutta, which I'm sure you may have been to. And so we don't need Vivekananda, we don't need Ramakrishna. There's many stories about them. Anybody who wants can ask me in a different context. But right now, I'm more interested in hearing the inspiring words of Mataji.
Try. Yes, yes. All right, Haribol. Any questions from the devotees online or here? They want to ask anyone here? Vinayak Prabhu?
Yeah, like Mataji told a lot of inspiring words today, and like maybe we can follow her footsteps to get some advancement. So I want to ask from Mataji that out of all her Krishna conscious life and all the advancement that she have got, can she explain about the contributions or the mercy of his Guru Maharaj Jayapataka Goswami, which helped him to progress? Sorry, her to progress.
Yes, yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I was really moved by my spiritual master. I mean, I'll take shelter next month, by his determination. Like Maharaj has gone through so many turmoils, like so many things have happened, but his unflinching faith towards his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, has not even, not even, I mean, slight degree, it has not decreased. I mean, if you go through his life, if you go through.
You got muted somehow. Can
Even today.
Okay.
Yes.
Broken up. The connection broke.
Can you repeat? You kind of got broken up. He has gone.
Yeah, there was a call coming. Okay, so sorry. So I saw that. I mean, his determination, his that nishtha, which we call Guru Nishtha. I am deeply inspired by his Guru Nishtha, because even I mean, it's very difficult to understand two tattvas in Krishna consciousness. The first is Guru Tattva and the second is Shiv Tattva. It is, I mean, people don't understand the Shiva, Lord Shiva, Shiv Tattva. So actually Shiva is the most exalted Vaishnava. So Shiv Tattva and Guru Tattva are very difficult to understand. And I was more attracted to Guru Tattva. And then I got to know, I started reading more about Guru Tattva. And then I saw Maharaj I think for me, he is the one who, I don't know, but I think like for all of us, I mean, we always see what is the one thing that inspired me to take his shelter. It's his Guru Nishtha. I mean, when I see and the way and he's very strong, like the way he says Gauranga. So that really bring goosebumps. Like it's so powerful. Like it said that I mean last month. I mean it was on 15th of August when we had Srila Prabhupada's Abhishek in Mayapur, Sridham Mayapur. So I went to Mayapur. It was my first visit, and somehow or other I managed to go over there without telling anybody in my house anything. But I was when I reached there, and then the day that was the first time I saw His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. I never saw him physically, like it's in front of my eyes. I saw him, and then I said ki, and I was crying out of my that okay. It said that in Guru Puja also when we sing that Janme Janme Prabhu se. Actually, spiritual master is somebody who is one. He has been, he is your spiritual master since time. I mean, since you don't, and if you meet him, if you meet your guru, your spiritual master in your life, then you are actually very, 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 very fortunate because he is the only one who was always there, who is there, and who will be there in future also. So that that was one thing.
You are muted, Narayan Prabhu. Sorry, we cannot hear you.
He's not speaking, so
Oh,
you.
I thought
I'm not muted.
No, you're not muted. Yes, Vinayak
No,
was
I don't think
Vinayak Prabhu was saying that you were muted, so I told him that you're not muted. So
I'm muted.
okay, I can hear you. All right. I think she got interrupted. She's anyways. Vinayak Prabhu, do you want to follow up with a comment or anything?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. So okay.
She left.
Yes, that's fine. So let's continue our discussion. There were some questions on our page on YouTube. Let's see the devotee. Let me share the screen. So see, Hare Krishna. Okay. So Moses Singleton Prabhu said, I was listening to Bhakta Singh's video of Haridas Thakur and I heard he was an incarnation of Lord Brahma. This true? I'm sorry if this is not on the subject or topic. Then I said, yes, that is correct. Haridas Thakur is an incarnation of Lord Brahma. That is talked about in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Vinayak Prabhu, is that talked about in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Lord Brahma coming down as Haridas Thakur? Or is it in Chaitanya Bhagavat?
I don't know. I have not read Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I have heard this in lectures.
Oh, you have read in lectures. Okay, that's a confirmation. And then Moses Singleton Prabhu says, yes, many people do not understand Lord Shiva's exalted position in regards to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is loved by the Supreme Lord. Understood. So my understanding is correct.
We have to understand that Lord Shiva is a partial expansion of Vishnu. He's not independent at all, but Prabhupada described that Vishnu is like milk and Shiva is like dahi, or like yogurt. If you have milk, you can turn it into yogurt or dahi, but you cannot take dahi and turn it back into milk. And the reason for that is Shiva is expanded from Vishnu, but he comes in contact with the material energy, Prakriti. And because of that, Vishnu never comes in contact with Prakriti. So that is what the curdling factor is, coming in contact with material energy, Prakriti, Durga, goddess, the whole material thing, Parvati. And so that's why, but is he a great Vaishnava? Well, in a sense, he's Vishnu himself, except he is now cannot go back to Krishna Loka because of having made contact with matter.
Okay, Jai. Kushbu,
Oh, yeah, I got disconnected. My phone's charge, my video would be off then. So I'm so sorry. I mean,
that's all right.
Mataji, not a problem. We were afraid that something
Yeah.
bad had happened, but it wasn't. So can you tell me what time it is for you in Calcutta now?
pardon, Prabhu?
What time is it in Kolkata?
I don't know, something network problem. I cannot hear. The voice is breaking.
It's
Oh,
11:30 there
11:30
a.m.
a.m.
No,
AM?
it's
Okay.
oh, in time. The timing, it's now it's 10:40 over here.
10:40. Okay.
And
Okay.
10:40 a.m. Yeah.
Okay. Is this a good or bad time for you?
No, this is the most I mean convenient time for me because till
Then
11
please do.
I do my readings. Yeah.
Please join us a million times, because I'm a person who is by nature sort of, I take a role of leadership in whatever I do because I was completely self-employed my own life, and I hired so many devotees in my business and stuff like that. Now I'm retired, but I recognize as a leadership type myself, Ramachandra is also a leadership type himself. You're a leadership type 100%. So we want to work with you, and as we get to know one another, we'll make the success for the golden age of Kali by restoring Prabhupada's movement to what it used to be, or what it was never ought to be, really. It was never, there were things that were very, like GBC was meant to be elected for 3-year terms, not permanently like that. And so like that, okay? So are you intrigued to be part of this this leadership structure of the League for 10K, bit by bit, as you like it, or if you don't like it, then of course not, but yes, if you want.
Yes, Jai.
How did you learn about this website, this Zoom call?
I browsed through YouTube, so I just saw YouTube. Then in the description, I saw this word iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, that this is not a class, this is a discussion. So that really intrigued me to join then and there. This particular one line, that this is not a class, this is a discussion. So this is beautiful. I mean, I've never seen anywhere written this. I thought that I should be, I must be a part of this. Not should be, it should, I've substituted the word must over here. I must be a part. Yeah.
The term Istagosthi is introduced by Prabhupada for this type of group. It really is talking jiva to jiva, because we don't have to, it's not about what we're reading. We're not reading for classes. We're not having kirtan even. This is like in a temple, you have all the people that are there, and some people may want to have a conference, and they call Istagosthi, sit down, and there's no rank. A guy could be sannyasi, he can be brahmachari, he can walk in off the street and sit down, and each person can join if they can speak from their heart and from their intelligence. Then in Istagosthi, they're welcome. And as you may know, iṣṭa-goṣṭhī refers to circle of cowherd boys, Gosta Bihari, cowherd boys in Krishna Loka. So sometimes the cowherd boys, when they're playing, they do all sorts of things in the fields of Vrindavan. I'm talking, well, here in India, but also Krishna Loka. And what do? They sometimes sit down in a circle, just the way kids do, young children, 8, 9, 10 years, 8 or 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. They sit down in the circle and they have like a get together where they talk things from their heart. And who is sitting with them? Obviously, in a circle of cowherd boys in Krishna Loka, the supreme cowherd boy himself, Sri Krishna, sits with them. This was created by Prabhupada for us, all of us. And he even went so far as to say, Istagosthi, dot, 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 letter. Istagosthi, dot, 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 then the perfection. So he saw Istagosthi as leading to spiritual perfection, because in Istagosthi, we don't talk according to our rank or file, temple president, temple cook, treasurer, truck driver. We don't talk like that. We talk only as Jiva, Jivatma. And how do we talk as Jivatma? We pray to Paramatma. Please guide my words. Guide me to speak. And this is what we do here. We pray to Paramatma, to Krishna in the heart. Please, as Prabhupada said, make me dance like a puppet. That's how he prayed to Krishna in the heart. And that, look what he did. That was on the Jaladuta coming to America. And now we can do the same. And we must do the same. If he did it, why cannot we do it? It's not a special thing to do. Krishna's in the heart of everyone, each person. So when Prabhupada did it, he set a good example, shall I say. So let's do that. And that's Istagosthi. And then the conclusion of Istagosthi is, as you say, spiritual, speaking honestly, not opinion, but heartfelt realization. As best we can. We're limited by being conditioned souls, but we can aspire in this context. So thank you very much. I didn't mean to take too much time describing Istagosthi, but that's what we are, and you're so welcome to be part.
Jai, I'd like to open it up here for any devotees who'd like to make a comment or ask a question or share their realization in our group here. Vinayak Prabhu, anything you want to share? You asked a question and she went offline, so you can
Is she
ask.
offline now?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, Prabhu, my question was over.
Okay. So I'd like to say that since Khushbu is doing research for the Bhakti Vedanta, what is it? Bhakti Vedanta Library?
Bhaktivedanta Research Institutes, like.
Okay.
Bhaktivedanta Research Center, BRC.
Okay. Is it an Iskcon project, or is it a Gaudiya Math project, or what is it? Or is it
It's an Iskcon. It was the foundation was laid by Harishwari Prabhu.
Okay.
Okay.
And then what are they doing? They're trying to find out all writings of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or what's the mission and vision?
They are actually trying to. They are mostly the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature that are in Bengali. So they are into translation. So I am leading a team over there of translating Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's Nadia Prakash into English. I got a few devotees, and I am leading kind of. And then the other thing which they do, they preserve the old original manuscripts which we have of handwritten by Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's actually originally written by them. For that, the scanning and everything, and preserving through chemicals and all that is another thing which they do. And the third thing which they do is now they have started courses, MA and PhD in Vaishnav literatures. This is the third thing that they do. And the fourth thing is obviously that is a library. So it, like for me, it's my second home. So stay there, learn and discuss with the devotees, and then you can make notes. So very lot of things you can do over there. It's basically a research center. Means it's actually, I told you, the courses, then and it all goes parallelly, and then the courses are there, the preservation is there, and then there is this whole translation work. And then we are also coming up with more projects in future, but right now it's in the process. Okay.
Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, do you have a job also that you do as a to earn money, or you're living at home? How does it work for you?
Actually, I have rejected a lot of job offers because they will take my whole day. I don't have time for them. But since I have to, like from next month, I think I have to do a job. So right now I've applied for since by profession I am a digital marketer. So I have applied for content writing and all this stuff, social media marketing to Kolkata Ventures, which is in Kolkata. The managing director is available, who is a devotee. Actually, he is a devotee. So he's actually the managing director, and the company is all about startups. How to inspire entrepreneurs to start up their own business. So for that I'm applying. Like I have my interview on Saturday. So maybe hopefully next month I will get that job. I would be able to in some
That's
three or
wonderful.
yeah.
It
And
seems
then
like
I have
all the
whatever
best,
you're
man.
doing,
All the best.
whatever
very
you're
good.
going to do
Yeah.
in that field, whatever you're going to do in that field could be cross-linked with the work we're doing in Krishna consciousness, I think. Because
Yes, I actually
we want
I
to get
took
into
up
more and more
my
sophisticated fields.
Yes, because I did my digital marketing, Prabhu. I did my digital marketing course because I wanted to market the holy name of Krishna. But I didn't say this to them because they won't understand. But it was there at the back of my mind because I already have on my blog, and then so I want to convert that blog into a website where all the our Guru Paramparas. I mean, there are picture quotes which we can make picture quotes. So that picture quotes I want to make, and want to launch my website so that it can reach out to more and more people. Actually, my whole my favorite seva is, like I told you, book distribution, and my everything revolves around that book distribution only. So this is actually, my blogging is actually kind of a virtual book distribution, which I am doing it sitting at my home from my computer, from my laptop. I am just trying to reach out to people. And I saw this with my blog also, that within 3 months I got 100 subscribers. So they like all parts of the world, but somehow or the other, I connected them to they got to know about Krishna consciousness. So that's the content which I write, so that it can be appealing to the youth today, or to the modern kind of as Prabhupada said, according to time, place, and circumstance. So this is the age of internet, and internet is actually very nice. So I am just trying to use this medium to reach out to my whole my priority. Yes, my priority is only Krishna consciousness. I don't want to do time anything else. But this particular next month, which I'm just trying to take this job, I want to take this job because I have to cover up the expenses which I will incur by I have to launch the website. So for that, hosting and all, because I'm not married, so I have to depend and the source of income is also my father is not. I told you I come from a broken family, so that's another issue. So I have to earn for my these expenses which I'm incurring. Like I take a lot of courses, also, like for I want to learn more, so that courses cost like 2000 something like this. So I need to sustain myself with a little bit of income also. Now I find,
I think that
so
you
next
have the
month,
intelligence, but you'll, most importantly, you will be guided from within by Krishna. At one time, I was supposed to do a task, build an altar in New York City, and I wanted Prabhupada to make a drawing of it, but he wouldn't do it. And I finally was exasperated, and not with Prabhupada, but just because I wanted him to make a drawing. And I said, well, Srila Prabhupada, how will I know how to make it? How will I know how to design it? How I should make it look? And Prabhupada looked at me grandly and said, Krishna will guide you from within. So that was really quite an eye-opening experience. Now, could I ask you a question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, sure.
Yes. Have you given any thought to Daiva Varnashram cow protection program? Are you familiar with that? It's a Vedic, Prabhupada created a concept for Vedic cow protection, meaning that you make a community with cows. You have it divided according to Varna. You have like say you have a Jagannath temple, And the Jagannath temple, like one in Puri, is busy cooking food all day long, doing offerings and pujas and whatnot, and dispensing benefits to everyone. Nobody in the community, if there's only couple of thousand people, nobody has to cook in their house. They can, and everything would be owned by Lord Jagannath. And then in that context, we keep so many highly bred Desi cows from India, and then create a whole cow protection culture where I don't like to say protecting cows. I like to say protected by cows. Because the cow is our mother and protects the child. So I like to prefer to say, not because cow protection makes me sound like a farmer or a rancher that keeps cows on his farm. No, the cows are in charge of the Varnashram Dharma because they provide everything. It's just, milk, ghee, dung, urine, everything they produce is a blessing for the earth and a blessing for the humans who associate with them. So I was just wondering, have you given much thought to that? Or
I just particularly, particularly I don't know, but when talking about cows, I would like to say one thing that I identify myself like I always wanted to contribute, because among the 7 kinds of mothers which we have according to the scriptures, the cow is very important. Everything is happening everything is going haywire and topsy-turvy only because the cows are being killed. Because I would definitely
you like the idea.
to.
So we're doing this for 2 reasons. We're not doing it just to stop the cows from being killed, although obviously we're doing it to stop the cows from being killed. But what we're also doing is to create alternative communities, because if there's a breakdown in human civilization, such as seems to be looming on the horizon right now, in fact, that we can create communities which are completely self-sufficient based on cows, agriculture, and deity worship. Nobody has to have any money. Nobody has to own a house. It would all be in say 10,000 acres, and everything will belong to Lord Jagannath, completely, 100%. So that's one of the things we are thinking about, and we need help to develop it. We're not quite there yet, but I'm working on a format for Daiva Varnashram. I'd like to know if you can send me your email address. I can send you some documents so you can have a look and see what you can see in it and what you feel could be improved.
Yes, Prabhu. I can give you my email ID. Please share this with me. Okay, should I write it in the chat?
Yes, please write it in the chat and I'll give it to Narayan Prabhu. Yes, I'll send it to him.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah.
And Rupa Manjari is also involved with that.
Jai, all right.
And we have people that are from the outside that can get land, or at least they're thinking about getting land. But getting land and cows without a plan is a nightmare. And it's a beautiful nightmare because cows are beautiful. They're lovely to associate with. I was myself raised on a farm. So, I know how to relate to animals on a farm because they're very nice and they all want something. So they're always very nice to you because they want to get it. So, and also then they become affectionate. They want to give too. So all of that is there. But this whole system, they've tried it all over India and very nice. They tried it in other countries, nice. Tried it in Hawaii, nice. But all they're doing is ranching cows. They're just cow farmers. And they want the cow to give milk so they can sell the milk so they can buy the food for the cow. That's not what we have in mind. We want it to be self-sufficient, that we grow all the food ourselves for the cow and we don't sell the milk products, we use the milk products. And for offerings for Lord Jagannath, not that we turn it into a business of cowsploitation. Anyway, I don't want to take up so much time with that concept. I just want to know if you're interested. And it sounds to me as though we need brains in this project. We're putting our heads together, and we need a superior sort of brain also. And if you don't mind my saying so, I would look at your brain as being quite excellent. And we would like to engage you in it, even if it's just to read it over and offer your opinion or to work at it. There's no obligation involved. Is that okay with you?
Yes, it's completely fine with me, Prabhu. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, because, you know, devotees are essentially a family, and you've come into our group here. We've met for months, and immediately you seem to be an outstanding family member, even on your first phone call. So we're happy, and we welcome you.
Jai.
Jai.
So when
Also-
are you planning to take initiation from Jayapataka Swami? Is it coming up soon or when?
Yes, it's coming up very soon. Like next month, I'll have my shelter, and then I want to take initiation by next year, maybe. I don't know, because my marriage plans are also there. I don't know, but there is a prospect in Mayapur, Sridham Mayapur. He actually manages he works at the Goshala over there. So maybe if things go fine, I mean, he's not from India. He's actually from Mississippi, USA, but he stays in Sridham Mayapur. So if he is okay, if he is okay with my profile, it's actually in the process. In the conversations
Yeah.
and everything is going
Oh,
on.
very good.
Yeah.
Prabhu, Prabhuji, for you, I do recommend as much independence as you can. And I like
Yeah.
that you're situated in Calcutta, because Calcutta is
Yeah.
a very progressive place. So
Yeah.
maybe you may change a lot of your plans if you stay there and work closely with us. You may see another vision coming out of the fog that will be very wonderful. That will be perhaps. I was one of the first people to ever go to Mayapur. There were no buildings there except one hut that belonged to that Chutananda Swami had built. And I was there, and I would wander around the countryside. There's nobody there, nobody. And I would be chanting and weeping, actually, on the road, and this way and that way. There were no buildings,
Yeah.
nothing. But then, you know, those buildings with the arches on them, like residential?
I don't know. Maybe if it's all Krishna's
Well,
plan.
they're
If he does, yeah.
long, skinny, industrial-looking buildings with arches on them.
Yeah.
I designed those in London with Srila Prabhupada.
Actually, I'm very glad to. I mean, today is really a very blissful day for me. Early morning, I got in touch with so exalted devotees and such nice association. Whatever, I don't plan for the future much, because it all depends on him. I mean, he can change anything. Krishna can change anything. He
Exactly.
can make us dance in whatever way he wants. So that's not. I mean, I just what
Now
is
that
there
now
in
that
the
you're
list.
associating with us, I could say about to be working with us, but based on your communications tonight, you are working with us. This is what we do. Istagosthi means sharing high-level ideas in such a way that the world will be a better place is when we finish it through the agency of Prabhupada, through the agency of Iskcon.
Jai.
Yeah.
And I'd keep
Jai.
your mind open, including things you don't know where you're really going to go. I would say stay open-minded about initiation also, because you're very powerful on your own, and no need to necessarily get started with initiation yet. It's not the end of the world. Frankly, quite honestly, anyone who chants Hare Krishna is basically initiated already. So it's not that you will gain much from initiation. You already have everything that initiation will offer you, because the holy name is a Shaktivesh avatar. Prabhupada said by hearing the holy name once, thanks to Lord Chaitanya, breaking open the storehouse of love of God and releasing bhakti everywhere, that the real need for a spiritual guide is not really there. Prabhupada is a spiritual guide. His books are spiritual guide. That's all very good. And so the first thing to concentrate on, I would say, would be yourself and your self-development. In other words, let Prabhupada and Krishna be your guru to begin with, and then you are your guru also yourself. And that's good. And you don't lose. The guru can't offer you anything that you don't already have, because you're going to go back to Godhead because of having heard the holy name of Krishna once. Prabhupada made that clear. So if you hear the holy name of Krishna just once, why? Because Lord Chaitanya destroyed the whole Brahminical system. He destroyed the Sampradaya. He destroyed everything. Why? Because he wanted ordinary people, malachas, chandalas, beggars, homeless people. He wanted them all to have a chance to immediately go back to Godhead. So therefore, if you hear the holy name of Krishna once in Kirtan, you're going back to Godhead. Now share it with everybody. Make sure everyone else goes back to Godhead by hearing the holy name at least once. And that goes for plants, vegetables, birds, animals, insects, grass, trees. They're all jivas. We should not exclude them from our life. We should look at them as our God brothers and God sisters, because they are. We're all part and parcel of Krishna, including the ants and the bugs and everything. So anyhow, my humble request is, now that we're in touch all together, why not make too big a plan to get married, unless you really, really want to get married right away, and or get initiated right away. This will all take place in due time. So my advice, suggestion is, you're working with a highly committed group right here, and we're working with you who are very highly committed. Well, let's give that a little bit of time to gel, and let's see how we can go. Is that okay with you, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
yes, it's okay with me. Actually, Prabhu, I just wanted to, ask something. Whenever we, we should never think so much about future, right? I mean, could you just enlighten me more on this?
This is the
not
future.
concerned much. Yeah.
We're spirit.
Actually,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
Acha.
I don't have any problem, because like I have realized that our past, present, and future have all merged into one particular time moment, because every moment is like Prabhupada always said that you always remember that the next moment you can die, so you have to remember that death can come anytime. So I don't make much plans, anything, nothing like that. So that's why I have given my full consent to what you are telling me. I mean, I'm always there to, and I'm going to give my 100%, and I'm not going to limit myself with some things which has not yet taken place, and which I don't know whether it will take place or not. So that's completely uncertain and completely unpredictable. So it's actually being foolish. Yeah.
Yes. Remember that as soon as the woman is present, if she's married, she loses some freedom just because of woman-man relationship. And when you take initiation, you lose some freedom because you can't do this or that. So my recommendation is, you're a very free spirit. You remind me of Nadachi Subhash Chandra Bose. So use that, make it work. It's more valuable to the world and to humanity and to Krishna than becoming a housewife and becoming a disciple of someone, really. For the time being, you're a disciple of Prabhupada, and you're doing very well with it. And there's no harm in it. And there's a great deal of literature to back up how Prabhupada can actually be your guru. So we don't, Iskcon doesn't necessarily go that path because they've come across a few stumbling blocks. But the actual fact is, Prabhupada is your guru. He's everybody's guru. If he's not Jayapataka's guru, then who is Jayapataka's guru? So Prabhupada came from Krishna Loka. All of the rest of us have come from planet Earth. No matter how advanced we may become, how good we may become, how kind we may be, how generous we may be, how instructive we may be. But if I know something, I'll tell you for free. You don't have to become my disciple. So, and if you know something, you're telling me for free. I don't have to become your disciple. So this is what I'm saying is, try to keep your freedom, because you're one of the few people I've ever met on earth who deserves to have their freedom intact. Is that? I hope that's not too heavy duty a thought for you.
Yes, Prabhu. Try. Okay, Prabhu, I
Yeah,
could.
in other words, be patient.
Yeah.
There's no big hurry.
Yeah, there's no hurry. Absolutely. I also wanted to, clarify this. Sometimes this takes a toll, but then again, I come back to the present moment and I just say to myself that I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just be in the now and let's just serve Srila Prabhupada. Let's just serve Srila Prabhupada. Let's just read his books and then just share it with the devotees. And then the day goes, and then another day again comes up. It's happening like this. So I am not at all worried, or I'm not in a worry. I'm not in a hurry also.
Not in a hurry.
No worry. Yeah, no worry and no worry. Yeah.
You remember Mirabai? She got married, and it didn't work out at all because she was a great devotee, and her husband wasn't as great a devotee as she was. He wanted to kill her. So you have to take into account that women are always very, very powerful when they're not married, and then they become very, very much, well, they can be powerful when they are married, but it depends on the husband, it depends on who else is around. Otherwise, the women become secondary, and that's not you.
Yeah. I just want you, Prabhu, to pray for me.
I'm totally electrified.
Yes, please pray for me so that my this kind of spirit, it never fades, or it never goes. It doesn't get affected by anything, because I don't want it to. So just pray for me. The devotees pray, then it happens.
Yeah, you're very spiritually awake. I've never met or talked to someone who's, this Krishna conscious, so in just 2-3 years. So it takes a lifetime.
What, 2 or 3 years?
No, she got in contact with the books 2 years ago at 28, and she's 30 now. So
my God, that's amazing.
That's
what was she doing before?
She was a student, I think, right? You said you were.
Yeah, but there must have been some religion, theology, something in her life, in her family.
Oh, yeah. Were you a student? Your family was not a Krishna devotee, right? Or they were, or maybe.
No. They were not, never. Only, actually, if I start saying, actually, I was actually 15 years old when I saw this, when I heard this verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. These TV serials which are on the TV, like somebody playing the role of Krishna. So I just sitting in, just 15 years old, I saw this person playing Krishna. He's telling Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So I was doing my work, and then I stopped and I was just looking at the television screen, and I got stuck like, okay, I don't know what happened. So from that time, from the 16th year, I started doing Janmashtami. Just once a year, I was fasting for the Janmashtami and chanting one round in my fingers, chanting one round of Mahamantra in my fingers. And then it was like this. Every year I did that from the 16th year. But I was not so much, whole year I did so many things because I was so young also. But I don't know, Janmashtami, I did the fasting and I did one round of Mahamantra. And this one's the verse which the Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Like I was very much moved by this word which he says, Ma Shucha. Do not be scared. So that was like, it made me feel that, okay, here is somebody who is assuring me that I should not be scared, because I was brought up in a situation of fear and all these things, and nobody told me that don't be scared. He is the first person. So it said that by the mercy of Krishna you get Guru, and by the mercy of Guru you get Krishna. So This is how I saw Krishna, and then after a few years Prabhupada came. So, and then after that, this whole, I told you, there was a gap between when I passed my college from 22 to 28. That was a very difficult phase of my life, because I was not working, I was not getting married also, and there was whole family, my father was creating a lot of problem. The whole family situation was very not at all. Yeah, but I then at 28, it was. I mean, I was on the verge of. I would say that I was on the verge of quitting like everything. Like, what is the use of living? Like that time Prabhupada came. Like I was going to end up with. I mean, what is the use of living? That thing came in my mind. So negative. But that was actually not negative. It was a blessing in disguise, because it was then that the beautiful light of Srila Prabhupada's mercy came and I was enlightened. Yeah, that's actually the whole thing. It all started with this when I was this 15 years old. This particular verse, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Krishna says that leave everything and come to me, surrender to me. And then actually the last word, Mashuchaha, don't be scared. So that time I became fearless. So Prabhupada says that Krishna conscious.
Wow. So
Fearless.
my opinion is you're already married. You're married to Krishna. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't take a husband, but
yeah, he is
only a devotee, only a great devotee can say something such as you just said. But could I ask, I would imagine because of your intelligence and women, ladies take after their fathers. Is your dad very intelligent also?
I don't know. I never. I mean, I don't know. He is how to tell you. I never communicated much with him. He has intelligence, but I think he uses it in a negative way. I mean, he doesn't. He's an atheist. In one word, if I would say, he's an atheist. He doesn't believe in God. So he is a successful man, a lot of money made, but he keeps it for himself, and he uses it in a the asuric way. He uses it in a negative way, where he should not use. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
he
that's
has
fine. That's
intelligence.
fine. You know.
Yeah.
What Prabhupada would say is that's a misuse of intelligence. He has the brains, the power, the shakti, and he didn't do what you did. So you're going to save your whole family. You become completely pure devotee. Your father will go back to God and also without doubt, and your mother. And do you have siblings also?
My siblings are like, there's a lot of problem. Like one of my siblings is, two of my siblings are actually suffering from mental disorders. The one, my brother is having schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, and my sister, I am the youngest at home, and my sister is having psychosis. So they are mentally disturbed. And I have
if you can get them to chant Hare Krishna, chant japa, and it will clear their consciousness.
I give them. They have prasadams. At least they get to build up sukriti. So, and then because I have told them, because they are very weak, so I told my brother to chant. He was chanting also, but now he has developed this anemia. He's now having anemia, so he's become very weak. So he said, I'm not able to. I said, no problem. You have prasadam. You hear kirtans.
Exactly.
And then in my sister's.
If we can, yes, go ahead.
You're the guru of your whole family. It looks, that's amazing. What you have realized.
She was an advanced devotee in her previous life.
Yeah, very.
End of story.
Yes, that's why I'm like, try. Amazing.
You were probably a Bengali devotee of high rank in your last life. That's my hunch. But anyhow, we're so pleased to meet you, and we want to collaborate with you. We want to talk about the cow Daivavan ashram. We also want to talk about something which you may not have thought about, which is there were times in Iskcon history where the disciples sort of rebelled against Prabhupada. And we want to help put it back the way it is. And for that reason, we're making a website to that effect.
Oh,
Rupa Manjoy is working with me. I'm working on it, and Ramachandra is working. And we have another people that are working on it. And we'd be very happy if you want to participate. And you'll find it very thrilling, because it's sort of like it puts Prabhupada as sent by Krishna, and Krishna working through Prabhupada, not Prabhupada just being a guru in the line and he's a pretty good guru, he's actually the best guru. Not like that. That he was sent from Krishna Loka And he came here to deliver us. And people getting carried away with becoming guru, stuff like that, is off the point. Because if you can chant the Hare Krishna mantra once, and you've done that many times, you're going to go back to Godhead. The next thing is to clear your consciousness so that you no longer have material attachments. And you're well on the way to doing that. So that's what the whole idea of guru is supposed to deliver you, but you're already delivered. Lord Chaitanya, Yuga Avatar, he's delivered everybody. And we can go into it at a different time, over a period of time, gradually, or by email if you like, and deal with every one of these elements and details. Why we don't have to. Iskcon doesn't even need gurus right now. We have Prabhupada and Prabhupada's books, and we have, like yourself, without that much association, you've completely revived your original Krishna consciousness that you may have had many years ago
Right.
as a devotee.
Yes.
So we can work with that. We can work with you. We're not envious of anyone. We're not against anyone. We're for everyone. But also there's been some odd things happening in the movement. And I would say don't do too many dramatic things until these are resolved. And we are the ones, and you are the one to work with us to resolve it if you so choose.
Right.
But you don't know what we're talking about yet. So that's up to you. That's your free will and your free choice. See, but we're not against anybody.
Yes, we have the Zoom meetings every Wednesday, Saturdays, and Sundays, and then we're also available on WhatsApp, which you can message us with any questions, comments. The link is in the description of the video wherever people are watching on Facebook and YouTube. So this is the way we communicate. We have live discussions. Anyone can participate. They can share their realization, comment. If there's some criticism, we also welcome that. And, we take it from there.
Exactly.
So, Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, can you explain about your role in Iskcon News? Like there is a website called Iskcon News. So does that website also like an ordinary journalistic blog which also criticizes some aspect of governments or these things? So is that kind of journalism present in Iskcon right now?
In Iskcon News, actually, I am the contributing writer. So I mostly write up for the festivals which come up. Like I wrote for Kartik month, the glories of Kartik month. They have a lot of section. Yes, I actually opt for these kind of articles, festivals like Gopashtami, then glories of Kartik month. I wrote for them, and then I wrote Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. I took that slot. I told them that I will write on this. So advance, I took that. So I took that. I took up that topic way before, and I told them that please let me write it. So I wrote that article for them. So that is one article.
Did it turn out nicely, and did people like it?
Yes, they loved it. I mean, what I basically do, I give Prabhupada's quotations, and then with some of my realizations, and then I do the whole writing, and then I finalize it, and then I share it with them. And they didn't edit anything. They like the whole thing as it is. I mean, what I gave them, many times what happens, the editors, they omit some parts, but they did not omit. They published it the way I gave it to them. So I was very happy with that. So Iskcon News, the people, the devotees working over there, they are very much, I mean, I found them very conducive to what Srila Prabhupada says. I mean, they are not going against. I mean, yeah, there are many, like in the name of, in the name of so-called leadership, they are actually not leading, but misleading a lot. But I saw in Iskcon News they are not like, and in my GBC SPT also I have seen they have very, 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 very much dedicated. We all are very much dedicated to the service of Srila Prabhupada. And then this BBT which I am involved, like it's BBT is like we are going for this Live to Give campaign, distributing book distribution. Since book distribution is my everything, that is why I connected with the BVT, because they promote. My job is to promote, because I am a digital marketer. So I try to use my skills and intelligence in service of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. I mean, I don't want to use my intelligence for because I don't know, I'm not a but Krishna will. He says that then in the Bhagavad Gita, in that shloka, he says that he will take care. That what is that shloka? He says that I will take care of you. If you, I mean, if we are always concerned about him, then he will definitely take care of us. And I've literally seen this. Yeah, so I don't have any kind of because many devotees tell me that you are doing so much, you should earn also, you should do this. I said, see, let me do what I'm doing. So, so sometimes arguments also arise, but then I always tell them that just depend on Krishna. It may be that he wants me to do this and he wants you to do that. It doesn't. It has not. It doesn't has to be uniform for everybody. That I had heard this one very beautiful point, that we are actually unity in diversity, unity in our siddhanta, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We are part and parcel, and our only work is to serve him. This is the unity in our siddhanta, and diversity in the way we approach him, which culminates in Navada Bhakti. That somebody hears a lot, somebody chants a lot, somebody does archana, like deity worship, and it's all on the absolute platform. It's all equal. Like Parikshit Maharaj heard everything. Shukdev Goswami was just chanting. And Prabhupada writes also in his books that even if you develop an attraction or an attachment to one limb of among the nine process, among the nine limbs of bhakti, even if you develop an attachment for one single thing, you go back to God. Prabhupada has mentioned this. So I tell the devotees.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yes, thank you. That is inspiring. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to do. And that's what we pray, that you will never lose that you will advance more and never lose anything, not even 1 inch.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's what I beg for the devotees to pray for me, because it's only because of their prayer that whatever I'm saying, maybe in my past births, many devotees have prayed for me. It's all because of their mercy. So I'm very, very
I pray
obliged.
to you, but
yes.
I took initiation on September 20th, 1968.
Yes.
So I can pray for you, but also maybe it is a conceited thing for me to say, but I want to offer you my blessing and offer all of your family, your friends, your service to Krishna. I want to bless you with the heartfelt blessing of Srila Prabhupada from the years I spent in his direct association.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'm so blessed to have your blessings, and it's actually success. I would again say my life is successful.
I am not blessed. Krishna is blessed. Your words have attracted Krishna to tell me, give her your blessing. Why are you sitting there? Give her your blessing, because he is giving you his blessing. I'm not blessing. He is I said it, but it's through Krishna's blessing to you. That's the main point.
Okay. So we got about 3 minutes.
This is most extraordinary.
We're coming up on 10 o'clock. So we usually have a meeting.
So will she be joining us again?
It's up to her. I think she will probably. Our next meeting is on Wednesday. And
yeah, in India it is day after. Like I will be regularly attending, because this is the most convenient time for me also. From 9:30 over here, in India it is from 9:30. So actually I read from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I do my readings. So this is actually reading only. So this is the most.
This is inside of your schedule.
Yeah,
could I
inside of
ask
my
you,
schedule.
yeah, what day is it in Calcutta right now?
Monday.
What day of the
Yeah, it's
week?
Monday. Yeah.
Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're one day ahead. So next one will be
Thursday. It would be
Thursday.
Thursday over here.
Yes.
Yes. So now you know exactly the schedule, so you'll know how to join with us. And we welcome you. If you want to, this is voluntary. And that is the jiva. Jiva, the whole point of Istagosthi is that the jiva, who is an independent part and parcel of Krishna, who has the capacity to act as part of Krishna, infinitesimal, Krishna is infinite. But the jiva is no different than Krishna in quality, just in dimension. And because Krishna is infinite, unlimited, infinitesimal jivas can reside within him. And that's who we are. So I'd like to just say that this Istagosthi is to awaken the jiva to no longer be secondary to the body, secondary to the mind, but the jiva says to the mind, like Bhaktisiddhanta, get over here, or I'll beat you with a shoe and a stick. You must come over, my dear mind, and be with me, not with the, don't identify with the body. The body will do fine without you identifying with it. You don't have to be excited about the body. The body will be okay. The body is functioning like a machine, like an automobile. You put oil, you put gasoline, you polish it, and you vacuum it, and it's fine. That's what we do. That's what the body does. It takes care of the bodily needs. But in terms of reality, we are the master of the body. We took a body, and that could be because Krishna wanted us to, or because we were tempted to, or whatever it is. It's complicated. Past life regressions, you can figure out what bodies you had before and why you took them. But that's not so important. What is important is, what am I doing in my body right now? And how can I bring not only myself, but all my previous births and all of my previous relatives, all of my previous ancestors into a concentrated place called bhakti, and they will deliver them. You may not remember who was your great-grandmother 10 lifetimes ago. Probably can't. But if you can, that's amazing. But if you can't, it doesn't matter. Just invite your grandmother from 10 lifetimes ago to come and chant with you and us. And we will have a wonderful experience of your ancestors and Ramachandra's ancestors, mine, Rupa Manjaya's ancestors, Mahaprabhu's ancestors, everybody on the site, Mohit's ancestors, and anybody else who's still on there.
Vinayak Prabhu still here. Hare Krishna. All right.
Yes.
Prabhu, you forgot my ancestors, Prabhu.
Yeah. So yeah, but I cannot see them all at once, so I have to scroll through it to see who's who. But anyhow, this has been an exciting experience, and I want to offer my humble obeisances to each and every person who is on this call.
So we're at 10 o'clock, so we usually end about 10 o'clock. So thank you very much to all the devotees, Kushbu Prabhu, for joining from Calcutta. It's been a wonderful meeting you. It's like, we're meeting you in person. So amazing realizations. This is proof Prabhupada is the spiritual master of anyone who comes in contact with his books, with his devotees. A very powerful experience that you have had, and it's been recorded and archived. So it's, it's very wonderful, just to say the least.
Yes. And I would like to say, they said about the guy that stood on the moon, didn't stand on the moon, pretended to stand on the moon, a giant step for humanity. I would like to say that you're joining us here tonight, Prabhuji, is a giant step for humanity.
Haribol.
A real one, not a fake one.
Chai. Prabhu, I would like to say that I really want to hear, how you came to Krishna consciousness, and everybody, all the devotees, present over here, maybe they can share a bit, because I really like to know devotees on a personal level. That increases the interactions and the depth of reciprocation also. So because since I would be regularly attending forever, so I think in the coming up subsequent meetings,
Yes.
We'll discuss some of those things.
yes,
That would be wonderful. But I was 24 years old when I joined. I took initiation from Prabhupada September 20th, 1968. And I'd already studied some years of Zen Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism, and I'd had a degree in English literature from college. So I was looking for all sorts of stuff, knowledge I wanted. I wasn't looking for a belief. I just wanted to know things. And when I met Prabhupada, that was it. I didn't need to go further in terms of knowing things. If I knew him, I knew everything I ever needed to know. Then this is a person with a college degree, so it wasn't that he was beyond me. It's that he knew the very thing that everyone that writes books that are taught in college are trying to learn, so that they can understand what Prabhupada knows. So if you meet Prabhupada, you don't need to go to, college is fine, but you get what I mean? That all the point of writing books is to know things. But when you meet Prabhupada, there's nothing more to know. So therefore, I put all my books away and I'm fine now.
Okay, I'm going to bed now, everyone.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Rupa Manjari.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll end it here. Thanks to all the devotees for joining. Our next meeting is on Wednesday, about 8 p.m. We'll start California time. So if you'd like to get in contact with us, our link is there in the description in the WhatsApp group. Just
And
click on.
please don't forget to give me her email address.
I sent it to you already. So
Oh, you did? Fantastic.
So yeah, the link is in the description, and then you can contact us. Kushbu Prabhu, you can also, if you're in the WhatsApp group, you can talk to Narayan Prabhu personally if you have any questions, or send me a message.
Anytime.
Devotees, or Vinayak Prabhu's here. So our very knowledgeable devotees. So
yes, I will. Okay.
Jai, okay, thank you.
Ramachandra is a brilliant leader, a brilliant philosopher, and distributes lots of books.
Jai, all right. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
All glory
Thank you.
to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada.